The following segment is sponsored by Quest Diagnostics. What does COVID-19 have to do with the fight against cancer? More than you may think. A new study finds a dramatic drop in cancer diagnosis, all because people skipped their routine screenings during the pandemic. Here to explain why it's time to get back to your doctor is Dr. Harvey Kaufman. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Brooke. Great to be here today.
We are so glad to have you. Now, I have to admit, when I first saw this study, I thought, oh, great, less cancer. But then I reread it and realized that's not necessarily the case. And since the beginning of the pandemic, there's been a significant drop in the diagnosis of 8 types of cancer. Can you tell us the different types of cancer?
Yeah, Brooke. So we looked at, in this Quest Diagnostics Health Trend study, we looked at 1.1 million people who were newly identified with cancer. And we found that in the early parts of the pandemic, March, April, May of 2020, when doctors' offices were closed for routine care, that there was a 30% plunge in the number of people newly identified with cancer. In the next period, there was a 15% decline relative to the pre-pandemic levels. And then in the most recent year, still 11% lower than the pre-pandemic levels. So there's a lot of people missing who have not had cancer diagnosed. Now, COVID-19 doesn't cure cancer. Cancer doesn't take a pause. And as you mentioned, we did. We reduced the number of screening events so that there's fewer people who are diagnosed.
And how is this impacting people's care? Because we know how important early detection is to survival rates and everything like that. So how is that COVID-19 impacting this?
So if we think about what's happened with cancer diagnosis and treatment over the past decades, there's been this steady, remarkable improvement year after year, decade after decade. So over the past 30 years alone, there's been a 1/3 reduction in cancer deaths. So this trend that we observed and report on suggests that we're going to see more cancer deaths in the year and the decade ahead. People are going to present with more aggressive therapy and stages of cancer in some cases, require more aggressive therapy, have more side effects, and have worse outcomes. But we can change that pattern. We can change that trend by making that appointment and getting our cancer screenings that we've missed.
And are there any types of cancer that are being impacted more by this? Like, for example, breast cancer, women are going more undiagnosed compared to pre-pandemic times, right?
Yeah, so we looked at 8 common cancers. We looked at lung, breast, prostate, colorectal cancer. Those alone account for 50% of all cancers. We looked at 4 others. For breast cancer, typically there's 264,000 people who are diagnosed each year. 99% are women. And if we think about the 11% decline that we observed in the final year of this study, there's about 30,000 additional women who would be diagnosed with cancer. If we look at the 2.5 years of the pandemic, it comes close to 100,000 people who are undiagnosed with breast cancer on top of the usual annual burden of cancer.
Well, and the good news is that there is an easy solution to this, and that's getting back to our doctors, getting these routine screenings. Where can we go for more information?
There's 3 places. One is talk to our doctor. Doctors are a reliable source of information. The American Cancer Society has a great website, cancer.org. And for hereditary cancers, where we get a gene from one of our parents, there's an online quiz to learn more about that at questhereditarycancer.com, QUESTHERDITARY cancer.com. Again, we want to live long, healthy lives, and it's got to start by taking control of our lives, by making those appointments and getting the cancer screens that we've missed.
Such great information. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Brooke.